Yeah. You already know it's the Galactic One, L, back cracking spells, jumping into part 2. You feel me? Money is a spell. Jumping into part 2. Money is a spell. We're going to continue to embark, right? And I left off on inflation. When governments bankrupt nations and they pull something called inflation, that is basically a sign of them indicating that they need to be on an inflatable craft. The ship that they was usually rocking on, making their money, and everybody following that system was a ship, and it wrecked. So they jumped on an inflatable boat. You see what I'm saying? In their commerce situation, in ship talk. I like to call it ship talk. Well, in ship talk, they wrecked their ship, and so they had to get on an inflatable, a rescue boat. You feel what I'm saying? And so inflation, their form of when they create inflation, that's their rescue boat. You see what I'm saying? To keep them going, right? And so, what is a cutter? What is a cutter in ship talk? A cutter is basically, to cut something is to take away from it, right? Or portionalize something. Take a portion away, right? And so, this is how we get the word cut a check. This is how the word cut a check come from, because cutters is deriving from reserve cutters, right? And these reserve cutters basically is a ship that communicates from shore to sea, from shore to land. That's what a cutter is, that type of boat, you know what I'm saying, is somebody that's communicating from shore to land, right? And so, with that being said, this is where you get the term cut a check. Now, etymologically, when you break the word check down, right, check goes back into Old French check, right, which goes back into Arabic and Persian as sash, like the saws, shash, like a sheik, shash. You feel me? Shash meant king. You feel me? It means king. So when you cut a check, you cut a king. You feel me? And so most of the deals went down on what you call a deal, because a deal is a piece of wood that helps create the deck on a ship. A deal is the piece of wood that's cut out to make planks so you can walk on the ship to create a deck. That's why cards and card games, they call it a deck of cards, and you deal, everybody gets a deal in the card game. Same thing with business. To make a deal is to buy and trade. To make a deal is to buy and trade. So most deals where the goods were on the decks of the boats. So if you wanted to buy something, you had to go to get a deal off that deal. Like, oh, that deal got some good deals over there. You see what I'm saying? This is where the terminology is linking in from ship talk into our regular academic talk. You see? Do y'all follow that? To cut a check is to cut a king. To cut a deal, let's make a deal. This is where they getting this terminology from, because it's coming from deals on the ship where they was bringing in goods. See, to bring y'all back 1 minute, I'm going to go back to the root real quick before we continue on with cutter, deal, and merchant for ship talk. I'm going to bring y'all back real quick to understand the science, right? Now remember, mama, Marine Admiralty Maritime Act. That is your mama. That's where the energy of metonymy of energy of commerce is operating through. You listening to your mother, your mama. You feel me? Marine Admiralty Maritime Act. Y'all look it up yourselves. See when it was created, etc. See what they've really done by creating that act. But I need y'all to think on a larger scale. Know that this is not the sea and the waters of the land that we're talking about is not just here on Earth. We're talking about the cosmic sea. When we say commerce, we're not just talking about the commerce here down on Earth with ships and boats. No, we're talking about planets being ships, right? Because what happens when inflation, when we get on this rescue boat, we're looking for another ship to come save us. If we don't find another ship to come save, we all gonna die or we're gonna sink with this ship, right? So that's where the planet Nibiru comes in at, Planet X, and that's where all these other planets, people trying to go to Mars and stuff like that to get off of this ship to jump on another ship. You see what I'm saying? See, I gotta be able to understand ship talk. It's not just for like waters on Earth, it's like the cosmic waters too. So understand, when all ships are docked, when ships get docked at a port, it's called they berth. When ships dock at a port, it's called they give birth. B-E-R-T-H. B-E-R-T-H. They give birth. The same thing a lady does when she's in a hospital laying down with a doctor. She gives birth from the dock. The dock helps her give birth. Just like you go to the doctor and have a baby. Y'all don't see this play on these spells right here. So you give birth, right? And so on the ship, there are goods that the people of the land got to come up on the ship and receive a certificate of manifesto. A certificate of manifesto. This is where your birth certificate comes in at. The certificate of manifesto is synonymous to a birth certificate in this, on the laws of the land, from the laws of the sea. You have to have that certificate and manifesto to say this goods is on here, this is on here, boom, 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 we bringing this on land, da 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 da. Okay, check. Boom. These are good deals. That's on these, you know what I mean, deals of wood. So we're gonna bring this on the land. Cut a check. Cut the king, right? So you give birth in a hospital, right? To a doctor, and ships dock and give birth. I just want to throw that out there so y'all could kind of tie in these analogies. This talk I'm not just speaking fancy word spells and all that. Now you got to understand this shit is a real spell. You know what I'm saying? So you are considered a oar, a dock oar, like the doctor. The oar is something that feathers in water. That's another term. And it also, when you move the oar like this, it's called to square. So some of us are off our square because we haven't squared off the debt. Somebody now you pay a debt and they say we squared off. Who are we in debt to? And why do we got to square off with something? What planet are we squared to? Saturn? Oh, shit. You say that, Lord. Don't say that, Lord. I'm gonna definitely walk y'all through this and show y'all, you know, how ship talk, you know, coming from your mama, Marine Admiralty Maritime Act, is the energy that persuades you and keeps you in this metonymy of commerce. You see what I'm saying? But you have to learn the terminologies they're using when it comes to banking. When it comes to banking, y'all got to learn these terminologies. See, that's why I say the money is a spell, because y'all using all these money terminologies and things like that, but y'all don't have no idea or clue how effective and what you are really in debt to. Why are you in debt? Why are you born in debt? Debt to what? Debt to who? Who are you in debt to? Why you got to get out of debt? These are the questions you need to be taking your mind on a quest to. All this other shit niggas got their mind focused on and worried about right now at this day and age and time, because the only way we're going to fight these people off is by breaking spells. You know what I'm saying? And we could kill all of them off, but if we still using their money, they legal tender debt note, we still using that tender, which is a medium, and the medium has us communicating from the living to the dead and giving the dead a charge. You see what I'm saying? By fucking with that money with the white faces on it, you giving the dad a charge because it's a medium of exchange, proposal. You feel me? And so energy is being reversed. Something's being reversed here. You know what I mean? And so y'all got to understand, these terminologies, you know what I'm saying? Go look them up for yourself etymologically and see these meanings. I'm going to get back into part 2, though, and hit y'all with the whole Vatican science. You feel me? And show y'all how the Vatican ties into all of this. This money shit and all. I'm going to show y'all how all of this shit ties in. It's been another galactic glorious day. Y'all traveling in harmony. Part 2, money is spells. Spell of money. Peace.